So, this week we got treated to a preview of the Banu Defender, and surprise, surprise, once again, it's the interior. It looks great. It looks fantastic. It looks detailed. It looks like an actual spaceship in as much as we can imagine an actual spaceship would look like. I really, I think it looks fantastic, but once again, dude, get us some exterior shots. Let's see what's really going on with those wings, please. Don't make this like another Car2All where we're looking at it and we're kind of thinking, is it still a two-seater? Is it still a two-seater? And then all of a sudden it comes out and it's like, oh, by the way, we got rid of that second seat. Let us know that you fixed the wings, please. Additionally, we got treated to a very lengthy preview of the 890 Jump and its interiors. And this was focusing mostly on crew deck and more service spaces rather than luxury interiors. But the crew has some luxuries too, including an arcade machine and a pool table. You can see this very large cargo area with an elevator, which apparently, I guess, can handle a ballista. So the possibility, the people out there who are kind of looking at their ballistas and saying, I can't really take it anywhere. Well, if you happen to buy an 890 Jump, you can. But it looks really, really great. And in a weird way, I would almost say that when I was looking at these interior shots, I was saying, this looks almost a little bit more like a military vessel than a luxury vessel. Now, of course, these are the service spaces. These aren't the luxury interiors, the nightclub, the bar, all that sort of thing. This is more focused around the crew and their needs. But it has, I don't know, maybe it's me, but it has a bit of a Star Trek and a military vibe to it. And more so than actual military ships to a certain degree. I really dug this design. And it kind of drove home the point that the civilian ships seem to be doing a better job than the military ships that we've gotten our hands on or we've gotten previews of so far. I mean, of course, the Idris or the Javelin could step into the game at some point in the future and we could be like, oh my God, that's really great. We haven't seen these ships in a long time. But when you see this hangar deck carrying two ships and it's able to kind of lift them up and deploy them, already people are probably doing all kinds of math using the video to figure out exactly what fits in here. This is really damned impressive work, and I kind of wish that CIG would kind of say, what if there was a military version of the 890 Jump? What if there was such a ship in the Star Citizen universe? I mean, since the 890 Jump is already built, rebuilding certain parts of it to create a military variant would be fairly easy work. I mean, even when they're talking about these cargo pads in the landing bay, you think about it, you come in with, let's say, a Cutlass or something like that, or any other ship that can carry a small amount of cargo, and you want to take that cargo off and just put it somewhere here in the landing bay. There are spaces earmarked for that can secure cargo. That's a very well thought out touch in the design, and kind of once again drives home the point of the ships that are coming out later seem to kind of correct a lot of the mistakes that the earlier ships just never took into account, or things that the other ships just forgot would actually be a thing in the game, and they end up being a lot better off than the current ships, because it seems that as we move forward, that's kind of where the corrections come in, as the newer ships coming in are getting the corrections, whereas the older ships, it's kind of like, oh, well, that's balance, So, I mean, that is kind of the one upside of when you're having to wait for a ship for an extra long amount of time, is generally these ships that have been lingering in the production pipeline for so long and are now emerging into the game are ending up a lot better off than their forebears that came out earlier and, consequently didn't benefit from the knowledge and experience that came along with building those first flights of ships as they all came out. Of course, you could have just watched my videos and I could have told you everything that you needed to fix. Just saying. Now, while the 890 jump, of course, is very impressive looking and certainly a gold standard for ship design now, I mean, it is looking insanely impressive. And I mean, even though I'm not somebody who, you know, goes for luxury ships, I do feel a little twinge of envy looking at this ship. It is very, very impressive. Definitely. I have to say that I don't think that this ship is going to make it out in any kind of mid 3.6 patch. I definitely think that this ship is going to get pushed until 3.7. It's just not going to make it out on time. There's too many tasks left to complete on this ship, and with CitizenCon rapidly approaching and the amount of work that they're going to have to do to create presentations, get everything ready for that, all these teams having to do a serious crunch, I just don't think that they're going to make it on time unless the roadmap for the 890 jump is completely inaccurate. It still appears like they have a fair ways to go before this ship is flight ready, so 3.7 looks like the earliest that you're going to get the 890 jump as a flyable ship. And since, sadly delays are no real surprise in the Star Citizen universe, I have to say that I don't think that the Cutlass Red is going to make 3.7 either. There's just no work being done on it. It's still marked as scheduled once again if the roadmap is accurate. They haven't really started. We're almost halfway through August, and this patch is due to hit at the end of, September, and nothing has been done yet. And it's not just a question of slap a red paint job on a Cutlass Black and boom, you got a Cutlass Red. No, there's a lot that goes into it. And medical gameplay isn't even here yet, so that might be one of the reasons that they're kind of sitting there and saying, well, we'll get to it. But, there's no real push to get it because we don't have medical gameplay in the game, really, apart from the, miracle cure-all pen that you carry on your belt that fixes everything from bullet wounds to broken legs. Chances are you're probably going to even see a further push on the Cutlass Red into next year. When you have to figure things like the flight ready ships that are in development or in production that we don't know about, which easily there's going to be one for CitizenCon, obviously one for the anniversary sale, more than likely. I mean, this will probably make a great little kind of cut back in a few months when I go, hey, I told you it was going to happen. But yeah, with all resources kind of being put towards CitizenCon and, the ships that have to be ready for that, which are going to be sold then, I just don't see the Cutlass Red, with the absence of medical gameplay, being a priority for them. It's not, definitely not the news that I want to give you. I mean, this is opinion. This is conjecture. But I really don't think that we're going to see it until next year at this point, and same pretty much goes for the Cutlass Blue. But I mean, the upside of that is, like I was saying with the 890 jump, it is going to be a later ship, so it is probably going to benefit from all the mistakes that the earlier ships did not benefit from. So we may end up with a better version of the Cutlass in the Cutlass Red and the Cutlass Blue. And certainly the Cutlass Blue, in terms of combat capability, is certainly going to be something that is going to be a little bit stronger than the Cutlass Black. So could be very interesting to see those two ships when they actually, step into the PU. But for right now, it looks like that the dates that are marked on the roadmap are more than likely going to be pushed. Anyways, that's the show for today. I'm sorry for the bad news with the Cutlasses, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, Please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.